Isn't it wonderful that we're all so different? As an artist, I hope to help people see things in a new way. I paint things like this, and I make things like this. A lot of my sculptures are made out of things that other people have discarded. I like to take these abandoned objects and find a new life for them, to maybe even give them a chance to fly. In my profession, imagination is essential. I started teaching high school about 8 years ago because I felt like our education system was ignoring, maybe even neglecting, imagination and creativity. I now hope to help students cherish and understand how to use those powerful natural abilities. Let me show you what that looks like. Each day, about 150 students walk through the door of my room. A few will become professional artists, and I know I can help them find the skills and the talents and maybe even find a career doing what they love. But what about the rest? Their interests are all over the place. A few of them already know what profession they want. I have a beekeeper, a rock star, a robot builder. There's a structural engineer. I even have a lawyer, a politician, and a mortician. I want this room to be an experience and a place that's different from the rest of the school. I want this place to be kind of like that little imaginative place in your own mind where innovative, brilliant, creative ideas are born. In art class, we develop a valuable skill that students rarely get to practice anywhere else. We find creative solutions for unsolved problems. My fear is that if people don't know how important that is, that this sort of learning and this sort of creative environment might just disappear. Schools today mainly focus on acquiring knowledge, and they measure that by standardized testing results. I think that this is only half the equation, because all of the knowledge in the world won't solve a single problem if there's not somebody who has the imagination to do something new with it. Knowledge plus creativity equals innovation. I believe this simple formula holds the key to all of our future success. Creative problem solving can be taught, and it starts with a healthy imagination. Albert Einstein said, imagination is more important than knowledge. So, why don't we teach imagination classes in our schools? I see my art classes as creative problem-solving classes. That's what we do there. In those classes, in those creative problem-solving classes, we gain knowledge and we let our imaginations fly. One of the things that I most enjoy about teaching is getting to know these young people. Their diversity and range of life experience is very wide-ranging. I have one student right now that survived being buried alive in an avalanche. There was another who knew everything about ceiling fans and vacuum cleaners. They are definitely not one size fits all. Some of them put tremendous effort, heart and soul, into scholastic activities, using their talents, and competing in sports events. Some others with severe disabilities put forth just as much effort to breathe and to use hands and bodies that don't work very well, that just don't cooperate. I think schools should be a place for helping students find their own personal strengths, their own abilities, the way that they can contribute to the world in a meaningful way. The past few years, I've especially been interested in people with disabilities, in working with them and helping them. I don't like the word disabilities. I think it's too negative. I prefer diverse abilities. And I think that there are things that, well, there's definitely things that these kids are not good at. There's things that they can't do. I won't deny that. But couldn't that be said about all of us? I mean, in this room, I bet there are more than a few of you that would have a difficult time making a beautiful painting or painting a beautiful portrait. How would you like it if you were judged by that ability? I see that these students are not different than that. People want to be known for what they're good at. We want to be recognized for the things that we can do well, and these students are no different. I try to provide the tools and opportunity for them to find things that they can do well. This is Kaya. She's one of the happiest people I've ever known. When she was in my class, however, we never really found a way for her to truly express herself. Then one day I saw her zipping down the hallway, kind of weaving in and out of students, and I noticed that with her power chair she had incredible agility. And my imagination said, why not create a way for her to draw with that chair? It was a small thing, but it's a simple thing that made a big difference in her life. Now she can freely draw. This is something Kaya waited 18 years to be able to do. I had another idea. If she can draw with that chair, why not paint? So, with the help of my friends at the USU Assisted Technologies Lab and the Utah Divisions of Arts and Museums change leaders, they helped me afford to be able to do this. I created this chair, and it's a fun chair that she can make her own artwork with. I call it Ennoble 1. And so she and others like her can now paint and make their very own art. And her smile, by the way, lets me know that this was a good problem to solve. I have a personal reason why all of this is important to me. You see, the abilities that let me be an artist, the talents that make it so that I can paint, sculpt, teach, create, those types of things, they come from the way that my mind works. And when I was a kid in school, my mind worked differently than most others. Back then, there wasn't a label for that difference. But today, it's understood that I have a learning disability. It's a disability, but it makes it so things like reading and spelling and memorizing are very difficult for me. I also have a hard time with math and sometimes staying focused. But I see that difference, that diverse ability, as being very valuable, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. It helps me to be able to do what I do. I grew up in a time when schools were not friendly to creative people, not friendly places. I'm lucky that my imagination survived, but the problem is still here. Schools, educational institutions are still not very friendly places for creative people. They don't cherish or understand their abilities. If I was a student right now and had to prove my intelligence in today's standards, I would probably be washed out. I honestly don't think I could make it. Changes need to be made because we're losing too many creative minds. I believe every student has value and can contribute in some meaningful way. Let's help each other find and cherish abilities that currently are being treated as useless. I challenge each of you to find your own creative ability and then go out and solve a problem. Give your imagination a chance to fly. I know from personal experience, when you find a way to make someone else's life better, the treasure you'll find will be right here in your own heart. Thank you.